Hello class, in this video we are going to go over how to do this exercise where we're going to convert the shapes that we have over here on the left to the shapes over here on the right, only using the following tools: selection tool, direct selection tool, and the anchor point tool. Now we're also going to make use initially the rectangle tool to create our shapes, and then the ellipse tool to create this one. So let's go ahead and get started. I have a document right here, which is just a blank letter size document, and my workspace is set to Essential Classics. What I want to do so that I could actually see my shapes, the fill color, I'm going to change the default fill from white to yellow. And I'm going to use my shapes right here. I'm going to tear off this menu. Let's go ahead and just create the shapes first. So I'm going to hold down Shift so I could keep the proportion. I'm going to create one square, and I'm just going to go ahead and edit, copy, and edit, paste in front. Let me switch to my selection tool, and I'm just going to move this one down here. I'm going to go ahead and edit, copy, edit, paste to move this one here. And then lastly, I want to create one circle. I'm going to press my modifier keys. I'm going to hold down Shift, but I'm also going to hold down Option on my Mac or Alt on the PC, so I could create a circle, a perfect circle from the radius. So here are the four shapes that I have. So now what I want to do, I want to do this each one individually. So let's look at the image first. Starting from the top, going down, I want to convert this square to this arrowhead, only using the information that is found within the shape. So one way to do this is I'm going to make use first of my selection tool. I'm going to click on it, and here, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and select it. Let's go ahead and do an edit, copy. I'm going to go ahead and tell it to paste in front. Remember that paste in front layer wise pastes it on top. I'm just going to move this one over here to the side. The first thing that I want to do, I want to rotate this shape because I want to manipulate only the anchor points that are here. So I'm going to rotate this one. I'm going to hold down Shift as I rotate so that it rotates 45 degrees. Now I need to switch to my direct selection tool because I want to manipulate some of these anchor points. Now notice that right now all my anchor points are selected. I'm going to zoom in so it's easier to see. All of my anchor points are filled in, meaning that they're all selected. I want to select these two outer points. I'm going to click on it once, click. I'm going to hold down Shift, click on this point now. So now both of these are selected. Now I could click and drag it up. Since I have Smart Guides turned on, it allows me to move together. If I do not have Smart Guides turned on, another option, I could use my arrow keys up, down, left, right, where I could move them. If I hold down Shift and press up, it moves 10 pixels at a time, as opposed to just 1 pixel. So I just wanted something like this. I'm going to go back to my selection tool. Let's zoom out. It doesn't matter that it's going beyond the shape. All I want to do is, I might resize it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to hold down Shift and Option on a Mac, or Shift and Alt, so I could scale this in a bit just to make it a little bit smaller so it could fit within my area. And there you go. I was able to convert this shape into this new shape. Let's look at the original one. Now I don't necessarily need to get that exact angle, but just showing you how you could potentially convert one shape with its current anchor point to a new shape. Great. Now the second one is converting a square into a circle. With these newer versions of Illustrator, this is actually really simple. And I'm going to go ahead and select it with my selection tool. I can go to Edit, Copy, and Edit, Paste in Front. And I'm going to go ahead and just move this over here to the side. Let's go ahead and Smart Guides to leave them all selected. In previous versions of Illustrator, it did not have this little tool right here, this rounded corner tool. With my selection tool, if I just click and drag this, it's going to select all of them. And if I drag this all the way to the center, it creates a circle. This is the easiest one to do. Before, we actually had to manipulate the handles to create this curve, but it's just easy as that. It's like, wait a minute, I missed it. I'm going to undo. For any shape that has a corner point, I can even show you. Okay, this one doesn't have it. But all of these squares or rectangles have this rounded, this tool to be able to allow you to round off the corners. If I click and hold down the mouse button, all of them are going to be selected. Otherwise, I'm going to undo. If I just click on one, and now click and drag it, I only manipulate one. You could do this for each one. I'm going to go ahead and just drag this all the way to the top corner, left corner, so that I can now click and hold down the mouse button and manipulate all the corners at the same time. And there you go. Excellent. Now let's check out the next shape. We're going to convert the square to this type of diamond-like shape, almost like a sparkle. So this time I'm going to use my keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to select this shape. I'm going to press Command or Control C to copy. And now I'm going to hold down either Command or Control F, and that is a keyboard shortcut for paste in front. So now, using my selection tool, I'm able to move this off to the side. And the first thing that I want to do is I notice that the points should be on the corners at 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. So I want to rotate this shape using my selection tool. I'm going to hold down Shift so that it locks at 45 degrees. Now what I could do, there's many ways to be able to go about converting these shapes. One method is using your direct selection tool this time. If I click along the path, I'm going to click on this path. Okay, it's not allowing me to do it this way. Oh, here. I'm going to switch instead to my anchor point tool. Let's see if this works. Yes, this should work. I could just click along the path. This is what I wanted to do with my direct selection tool. I just had the wrong tool. I could easily click and drag these inward to create a shape that looks like that sparkle. The other thing that I could do with this direct selection tool, remember that this tool allows us to create and also delete those anchor points. One thing I could do, I could click and drag to create an anchor point, and right now I just want to focus on the right side. I want this shape right here, but then you see how this one goes up. No worries, using the same anchor point tool, I'm going to click and hold down the mouse button, drag this handle. I'm going to try to put it like equidistance. I'm going to try to mirror them. So I have this. What I could do, I am going to do this for the bottom one as well. I'm going to break this handle. So this time I created it and then I broke the handle. But you notice how this one disappears? I need to bring back the handle that was here. It's still there, it's just not visible. And I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut because previously I selected my direct selection tool. To recall your last used tool, press and hold down on a Mac, hold down Command, on a PC Control. And now I have the white arrowhead. If you do not have the white arrowhead but it's a black one, you're going to have to just go ahead and select the direct selection tool just to bring it up. And then I'm going to go back to my anchor point tool so that I can now manipulate this handle. So I could do it this way. What I could also do if I want to, I could even create handles on each one, on each anchor point. I'm going to hold down my modifier key to bring back my last selection tool. That's just the direct selection tool. And I could go ahead and create something that looks like this. Creating my handles, breaking off my handles, using my direct selection tool to bring back the handle that was there. I'm just going to deselect just so I could look at the shape. So this is another method of being able to convert this square to this diamond-like shape. All right. Now the last shape is to convert this circle to this cute heart. Now to do this, I'm going to switch to my selection tool, select my object. Keyboard shortcuts, Command or Control C. Now Command or Control F. So I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side. So I have it here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a bit. Now we don't have to see that one over there to the side. Now what I want to make use of these points that I have. I'm going to use my selection tool, direct selection tool. I'm going to click on this point right here, and I actually want to move it down. I'm going to use my arrow keys, and I'm going to bring this one down. How much so? I don't know. Because what I'm going to do next is I want to switch to my anchor point tool. Keyboard shortcut Shift C. And I'm going to go ahead and just click on one. Oh, if I click on them, it deletes them. I could use something like this, but I want to be able to control how much it's going up. So I do need my handles here, but now I'm going to click and drag this one. And let's see, I want to get a nice loop right here. Now this handle disappeared. I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut to bring back my last used selection tool, which was the direct selection. I'm going to click on that handle. I'm now going to let go of my keyboard modifier key, which was Command or Control. Now I'm going to move this one. I'm trying to make these like mirrored. So I get this shape right here. And I want to select this one, this anchor, and I might want to move it down a bit. And let's go ahead and break these handles. So I want to create that little point for the heart. So I get something that looks like this. Here, I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to move this one up a bit. Let's look at the original shape. Okay, so this one's a little bit. And go up. I'm going to use my tools to slightly modify it. Now remember, it does not necessarily have to be a one-to-one recreation, but the close to your capability. I'm going to make this one longer as such. I can move this point up higher. And there you go. That's how I convert this circle into this heart. So this is just an exercise because learning how to be able to manipulate these different anchor points, converting these different shapes is going to give you more experience when we're starting to work with the pen tool. And that's the tool that we're going to be covering next. So I hope that you're able to get this. Again, this is an exercise. It's nothing that you have to turn in. But it will help you once we start working on our assignment 7, which is the silhouettes. Now this concludes this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.